Hello, welcome back. Happy Tuesday, everybody. We have got a bodyweight class, 2 movements we are working on, quite specific. So we've got single leg squats and push-ups. So we've just got the 2, so slightly shorter than when we do 3 and build on them. So as always, we've got a little bit of an easing in round, which is a skill with a very basic form. And then we're going to add to that. You will only need maybe a chair, or you can use your sofa, just to, because that's going to be the option. So if you want to take a little bit of skill out or a less challenge, that is going to be the chair option. So have something that you can sit on. You might want to use a footstool or a sofa, like I say. The height will depend then on how much challenge is then in that movement. And a thick book, or if you've got a squat wedge, a yoga wedge, you can use that as well. It's just going to elevate the heels, give us a bit of fake ankle mobility. And your water bottle, it's very warm today, so it might be warm where you are as well. We just make sure that all the lights are on so you can see everything I'm doing properly. And we'll get to it. So we have got our little easing in. We're going to do a staggered stance squat. So staggered stance is just one foot in front of the other. Again, doesn't have to be really wide, can be, but just as we're beginning, right foot forward, we're just going to squat here. So what you'll notice is the leg that is back is taking more of the movement. That's it. So you're sort of leaning, the hip will sort of shift. So I'll show you from the front. The hip will shift into that back leg. So you might feel more glute there. That's it. 2 more. And then swap them over. Left leg forward. It's going to go back to the side. My left glute feels very warm now. Let's get that right one feeling like the blood is flowing to it a little bit more. As always, make sure that you pop some good tunes on for yourself to listen to. I've just got some royalty-free music on in the background, which just stops anything happening with my videos on Facebook and YouTube. And as always, take regular breaks if you need to. Move through a range of motion that is suitable for you. That's it. And a walkout. So finding the mat or the floor however you want to. Bend the knees if you want to. Walk it out. Full plank here. And then walk it back. Right, let's have 4 more of those. Standing nice and tall, nice breath. That's it. 1 more. Please give me a nice little head rush. That's it. Lovely. Right. So that is just the foundation for the skills that we're going to build on. Quick sip of water. And back to our squat. So either doing this free or grabbing something to hold on to, or doing it to a chair or another target, whichever one feels more comfortable. So what we're going to do is just see where we can get to in that single leg squat position. So we're going to have one leg up. If you want to, if it feels more comfortable, you could just rest the toes on the ground for a little bit of support. This leg still won't be load bearing. It will just be more of like when you kick your bike stand out and your bike stands up. We're just going to see where we can get to in that single leg squat and back up again. So you could do this to a chair like this, aim for that target and back up. Or if you want a little bit of extra support, holding on to something, dropping in and coming up. We're only going to do 5 on each leg because they're quite intense. It's quite hard doing stuff on one leg. So picking your option, let's have 5. If you go in 3 like me, arms in front of you for balance, and it will really help to sort of hunch yourself over in this position because that's going to make you the most balance. Okay, all on one leg first and then swap it over. It's going to be challenging for the balance. So really leaning forward. So if you're holding on to something, you can still hunch with that other arm. Lovely. And swap sides. That was my 5 on my right leg. Remembering that we're not always going to be symmetrical, and bodies don't really work like that. So one leg might prefer to be the leg that's out. One might prefer to be the one that is doing the lowering. Lovely. One more. Really pushing that knee. Oh, very wobbly on that one. I'm going to try it again. Really letting that knee go over that toe. Lovely. And I sort of find that sweet spot at the bottom where my mobility is really challenged and I start to wobble lots, and that's where I was just taking a moment to be there and then coming back out. Okay, on to the push-up. We're going to do 5 of your slowest lowering push-up. So we're only going to focus on that downward movement. And you can pick whichever push-up variation you want to use. So box, knee, or full. Okay, we're going to go really slowly, as slow as you physically can, to the floor. If you get to a point where you feel like you do just drop and the floor, you know, it's pretty hard, you could just pop a cushion there. Say if you get to here and then you can't hold it anymore, you can then just lower yourself onto that cushion and it's a nice soft landing. All right, 5, take your time. Your 5 slowest eccentric push-ups. Really leave that bum behind, so focus on floating the chest down to the floor. Looking ahead of the hands. Coming up however you want. So if your hands are set up like mine, taking your gaze, so if you drew a triangle with your hands on the top of your mat or just ahead, making the gaze just around here. I think I've got 2 more. So rest as long as you need to in between. Like I say, you might just get to here and then want to come down. That's absolutely fine. It takes a while to build up that range and build up that skill. Lovely. Trying to keep it nice and short today. Quality over quantity. Grab yourselves a drink. That's made me instantly warm. Okay. So in that first single leg exercise, we worked on that top position a little bit. Now we're going to work on the bottom position. So you can do this in 2 ways. You can get your chair, sit yourself down, and we're going to do some leg lifts like that. That will help strengthen and build more skill with that leg being out, really getting our leg that's on the ground as far under us as we can and pushing that heel down. So I don't want it out here because that doesn't look like my leg in a single leg squat. Having it more underneath me looks more like that. So that's that option. Or grabbing your book or your squat wedge. You're going to elevate your heels just to fake a bit of ankle mobility. Bring yourself into that bottom position And then carefully bring a leg out. You could use a chair or something for support. And we're going to do the leg lifts here. Okay. We'll have a break in between legs. Again, 5 on each side. So pick your option. I'm going to go here, but I think I'm just going to keep this chair nice and close to me in case there are any wobbles. So I'm going to go all on my right leg first and then my left leg. So bring yourself to that bottom position. Same thing. Really hunch over. Bring that leg out and we're going 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, that's really intense on the top of the quad. That's all we need. Ooh. And this is why I picked 5, because this stuff is all very intense. Doesn't matter if the heel touches down in between. Bring yourself back down. Other side. 5 again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Reset myself up again. 5. Oh. That is intense. A quick drink and then onto that push up. Okay. Move that book out of the way. Push up. We're going to low down as slow as possible, but now our intention is to hold it at a certain point. So if you do have a cushion, or you could use your thick book, what we're going to do is you're going to use a target to stop at. So as soon as you feel it, because it's not going to be taking my whole weight, especially with a cushion, I'm still going to have all the drive through my arms. When I feel that cushion touch my chest, I'm going to hold it for as long as I can until I then just fall. Excuse me. Again, picking whichever variation suits you. Can be box, knees, or full, or you can use a combination. You could start doing full and then scale back to box or knees as we go. So here we are. Again, just 5. Take your time. Must have held that for like 2 seconds. And I could really feel my body trying to get my right arm to take more of the weight. So obviously my right arm's got more skill because it's used more. It's really interesting just to pick up on these things. That is tough. Okay, that's 2. I might do one more full and then I'm going to go for 1 on the knees, I think. Oh, it's so much harder than it looks. I'm just going to roll my mat over because the wooden floor underneath likes to really like chew up my knees. I felt my body weight being a lot more evenly distributed then, doing it on the knees. Felt the left pec sort of get a bit warmer. Last one. I don't know why I pushed back up. I was supposed to hold it and then just wait, aren't I? Okay, so I did an extra one. An extra one because I forgot what we're doing, because that is my brain. Awesome. Grab yourselves a drink. Okay, last little round. Right. So the legs should feel somewhat ready for this. We're going to see if we can control a one-legged squat to the ground. If you have been using a chair in the last 2 rounds, if you have something slightly lower, get that instead, because we just want to step 1 up in terms of challenge. So if you've got something lower, like if your sofa is slightly lower than your chair, use your sofa, or go with the version that's just free without anything, and we've got some options for that as well. So we're going to see if we can control this motion as low as we can all the way to the floor and then roll back with it. So we're going for like a squat roll back, so top of the mat. So really hunching over, see if you can control that all the way down, roll, come up however you like. If it helps, you could pop a cushion under your bum. You don't like the feeling of falling too much, so it could be this, just falling onto the cushion and getting straight back up, or you can pop a hand down. So as you're controlling that and you get to a point where you're going, oh no, you could just put your hand on the ground and come back up again with 2 feet. Many ways to do this that are all going to work on that skill, because what we're really focusing on is just that lowering phase. If it helps as well, you could elevate your heel, which might help you get into that deeper position. I would also advise the cushion if you've got a big book like me, because I don't think that will feel very nice if my bum lands on it. So it can be lowering and just sitting back on that cushion. Many, many different ways to do this. So try and find one that makes you feel your most comfortable and your most confident. So 5 on each side. To be honest, I quite like landing on the cushion. I think that's where I'm at today. I'm going to go for a soft landing. Also, if the leg doesn't feel totally comfortable being out, you could also just rest it on the floor and go for a lower like this. All right, take your time. Hunch yourself over, really round those shoulders forward and control it to the ground. Come up however you like. I'm going to do them all on the right leg and then I'm going to swap over. Really hunch forward. Get your balance. Perfect. Got a bit of a wedgie from this. Last 2 on the right leg. I give my left leg a go. Really hunch it over, really pull through those arms. That's it. Other side. So if my left leg prefers to be the leg that's out for balance, so it's going to look very different on this side. Again, come up however you want. No one cares how you get up off the floor. Do what works for you. Take your time with the setup as well. You don't need to rush through them. See, I'm a lot quicker on my left leg because it hasn't got as much control. Tried to catch it at that point then where I lose the control. Last one. Oh, a bit sweaty if I'm honest. There we are. Back to that push-up. So we're going to introduce a pulse at the bottom. These are vicious, but they're great for building skill, great for building the strength in that push-up pattern. So we're going to do exactly what we've been doing all along. I'm going to keep the cushion just for a bit of a softer landing. When we get into that bottom position, instead of holding, we're going to go for a pulse. So my arms are going to lower my chest. I'm going to stop where I can stop. And then I'm just going to go hop, hop, like that. Again, you can try it I might try it without the cushion to begin with, just see if I can get a bit lower. You can do it in a box, so it looks like this, lower, and then, oh, little pulse, and then come up however you like. You can have the knees a bit further out. Always have to roll my mat over for this. So pulse and then drop, or that full position, down, little pulse, and then lower it. So this is really good for if you're between so say you can do loads of push-ups in a box position, but not as many in that knee position yet. Go with the knee position. This is really going to help you strengthen it. Same for if you're just nearly there with that full position. Pick the full position, pick the one that's slightly more challenging for you, and go for that little pulse. And it doesn't have to be high. I think, again, psychologically, because your brain's going, well, we've got to do a pulse, it will take range out of it for you. So I know that I can hold a push-up down here, but my brain is going, we can't pulse there. So mine's probably going to look more like that. I'm probably going to pulse a lot higher, and that's totally normal. That's what's going to happen. Your body will do anything to achieve the task that you're trying to tell it to do, and it will modify the movement for you. So just 5. You can do less, you can do more, you can add the cushion in, you can pick whichever option you want to do. Just take your time, give it a chance, and have fun with it. Just have fun with it. Here we go. That wasn't as much as a pulse as like a ah. I tried to beat my own brain and go a bit lower. Yeah, do that pulse a little bit higher and then lower to the ground. Do whatever works. Just get that pulse in. One more. My hands are very sweaty. I'm glad I kept these shorts on. Yes. And that is it. There you have it. Single leg squats and push-ups. Some different variations for you to try to add skill and to build strength in those movements. Those have knackered me. But if you've got any questions about any of the movements today, please let me know, and have a lovely rest of your day. I'll speak to you soon. Bye bye.